What's up, everybody? Welcome to Adventures in Gran Insulae. This is a streamed D&D campaign, or YouTube if you are watching this in the future. Um, uh, Inspired by the worlds of Treasure Planet, Eberron, and I'm now realizing One Piece, because this is a world made of islands that you are now starting to travel towards, possibly, if you survive. Again, I'm not killing anyone until at least section 3.
He says,
We're making through it.
I am Julian, or JuliCiel, your game master of this campaign. You can find me at JuliCiel on most social media. I am the award-winning writer of the Realm Tree audio series, which I just got in the mail today. I got a little framed poster, which is fun.
Flex.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I also run D&D for fun and for profit. If you ever are looking for a DM, if you hit the Forever DM curse, my rates are quite affordable if you just want someone to run a fun little game for you, or a campaign. I don't know. I have free time. And you can listen to myself and someone else here, guess who, on the General Adventuring Company podcast, where some member of us, guess who, probably not the guy dancing, is a guest for these next few episodes. So that's me. Let's go on over to, let's make sure I point the right way, Matthew.
Hey, that's me. Your friendly neighborhood Wait, sorry. Not supposed to reveal my secret identity. Hey, guys.
I can't believe he's actually Spider-Diter.
I am actually a photographer, so that's the thing, right?
That's true.
Hey. Just like Spider-Diter.
Just Spider-Diter. I'm a Spider-Diter. Hey, friendly neighborhood Spider-Diter, coming at you. Yeah, so I'm Matthew. That's a thing that I do. And apparently I'm a Spider-Diter, so that's also a thing that I do. Welcome to our show. It's great to have you here. Like Julian said, yeah, we're in TGAC. Guest starring in a couple episodes. Come check us out. It's cool. Otherwise, I think you should really go and check out Malik's band, because it's bitchin'.
Wow, what the heck? This guy's giving me a layup. Does that mean I'm next?
I think we have to. If Michael's okay waiting for last, Matt, give that layup on over to Malik.
Wow. So yeah, name is Malik. You can find me on Instagram at the Maliki Cauldron. As my good buddy Matt here did mention, I do have a band called Astral Emissary. It is a 2-piece outfit. Myself and my dear friend Rachel, we both sing, and she plays guitar. Maybe one of these days I'll get an Adderall prescription and learn how to play some type of instrument. I definitely should. And yeah, I've played D&D with 2 of these fellas, both Julian and Matt before. Excited to be playing it again, having a great time already. And I also have, speaking of One Piece, a One Piece podcast with 2 friends called Radio Kaizokudan that we put an episode out roughly around every other week. I'll probably do a better plug for it at the end of the show, but yeah.
Hell yes. I need to start listening to that. I've had so much One Piece on the brain lately because I've been rewatching a lot of arcs with Michael, which he has been watching for the first time.
Good.
You both would probably love it because it's absolute chaos, and we're all just friends from college shooting the shit about it. And
yes,
boy, oh boy, it's one of my favorite things.
Also, like, what a creative name, Radio Kaizokudan. That's awesome.
I like it.
Kaizoku
it's really good.
means pirate, in case you didn't know. Kaizoku oni orewariade. All that shit.
It's almost like you've done that before, Julian.
Like popping off.
Michael, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Michael. You might recognize me from the podcast. Oh shit, I already messed up the intro. You might recognize me from the thing that you're watching right now. I'm a fighting game player. I'm 3 degrees of separation away from the Zodiac Killer.
You can't just say that.
I think he just did.
The amount of red flags on the play. Red
what? I didn't do it. You can't prove anything.
We didn't suggest that.
Technically, we can't prove it. I don't know.
Suddenly, our viewership just skyrockets.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
And I'm Boston's leading authority on David Fincher movies. I play Skullgirls. I host I host locals. I'm doing a crew battle on Sunday. I'll put that on Twitter somewhere at the end.
Oh,
of
you know,
this.
sorry, Michael, you're being canceled on Twitter.
I know. I can't. There's like nothing like more interesting than the 3 degrees of separation. I was like trying to think of like cool things. I was thinking of David Fincher. Then I realized the cooler thing is that the story is my friend went to a book signing for Ted Cruz's wife and brought a rollout poster of the Zodiac Killer wanted poster, and then had Ted Cruz's wife sign it without her knowing like what the poster was of. So now he just owns like a poster of like the Zodiac Killer that says like Mrs. Cruz.
Yikes.
I'm uncomfortable with that.
Is that a chaotic neutral thing? That sounds like a chaotic neutral.
You told me, and I'm like, why did you do that?
A little chaotic evil, but maybe it's teetering.
You think it was funny at the time? That's why I'm 3 degrees of separation. Assuming Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer, then.
Right.
Oh God.
And on that note, let's dive.
I'm gonna get like a knock on my door tomorrow, being like, "Are you Michael?" And I'll be like,
oh my God,
dude.
Well, with that little train disaster, or should I say, sea train disaster on its way to Enius Lobby, One Piece reference. Let's get started with our adventure in the ocean tonight. So let's do a little recap, and because purely listening to my voice without any music under it was weird, let's get a little tavern music to underscore this. Can you all hear this?
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah."
Amazing. All right, all music provided by Tabletop Audio. Wonderful little website. Thank you so much for the clip, Timmy Slimmy. Last time, you three were left alone with the ashes of the heart of Volan, the Ifriti that you were sent to collect for space fuel, and you were told that if you did not collect the heart, you would be executed. So you decided to simply go further into the cave. You avoid a section full of giant spiders ready to pounce because of a good perception check. And then in a much warmer area from this dormant volcano-like island, you fought against 2 lava mephits, these imp-like creatures that rose out of the magma. Took a lot of damage because they tended to explode upon their death. So you ended up drained and weary prior to meeting a child who introduced herself as Destra, seemingly a little girl with golden eyes and golden hair at first, but in reality the sister to the gold dragon, or gold dragon wormling, that you all killed. She decided that she had no quarrel with you anymore since the heart was gone, very strange sense of morality on that one, and instead pointed you towards a village of fire genasi. You were warned not to mention that you came here for Volan's heart because they had a strong relationship with the now dead Ifriti. You found the village, met Asher and Blaze, 2 of the tribespeople, lied visibly through your teeth, so they only offered to help you off the island if you helped them slay a nightmare, literal nightmare like the big monster, who was attacking the village in its sleep. So you found the nightmare during the day, you took it out, you succeeded, and they gave you a ship whose flag was marked with the symbol of the Ferret Friends? I've never seen a party name happen so quickly, but I don't know if this one's gonna stick. I don't know if this one's gonna stick.
Yeah.
I think Malik and Sylvia have thoughts on that one.
Big fat asterisk by that.
Either way,
Another
you
fucking
3
baby
are
gang
sailing
situation.
on a hover ship with the large wind sail having the scorched in by the fire genasi people symbol of a long ferret with a little heart next to it. However, on your way off the island, in the distance, surrounded by dead vultures, was the helmsman of the Jade Whale and of Lady Pandora Nephrite's crew, a woman simply by the name of Terra, covered in these strange glowing tattoos, an unmistakable scent of death coming off of her, noticed by Hedrover, our cleric. She raises her axe as you all approach, saying that she will be happy to oblige her mistress in your death. So, that being said, let's dive right into the battle. I don't know if this music is appropriate.
Oh
Let's try
my
it.
God, no!
Everyone, please Roll initiative.
Are you?
Oh, are you
Okay.
sad that you're a little scuffed up between sessions?
Oh my god, no, I'm sad from the roll now. Oh,
Oh, okay, I see. Well,
maybe
let me roll for her. She might roll badly too.
there's no way you can roll worse.
Well, that you must have gotten a 1. That's the only
No.
thing that could be.
What
the
did
Close.
what did Hedrover get?
I got a 3.
Okay, what did Sylvia get?
Dirty 20.
Sylvia got it. Wow. Okay.
Sorry,
nice.
a 2. I forgot I had -1.
Of course. And
Oh god.
and
Wait,
Diya,
to initiative?
How do you have a minus to initiative?
because he has negative dexterity.
Oh, brother, this fucking heavy armor is just
That too.
biting you in the ass at every turn.
So you're like, brother, no.
Yeah.
And Matt, what did you and Diya get?
11.
Also 11. What's your
Throwing.
dexterity modifier?
3.
You just barely beat out Terrage in this initiative.
Ooh,
Okay. So let's paint the picture here. By getting some descriptions. This ship is charging towards Terra, and for anyone just tuning in for the first time, let's get some visual descriptions of your characters. Let's start with Diya, who I believe is piloting the ship right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Diya, what do you look like as you are piloting the thing?
Diya is a very classic Legolas type character. Long, blowing locks, crown across his head of like a little silver thorns. He's got 2 swords that he has upside down across his back, and he's got his like little. It's like one of those painful adventurer stereotypes. You look at this guy, and there's like no question. And of course, his little ferret friend familiar, who is now on the prow of the ship, once again holding onto the rope and like bouncing on the tap or on the very point of the ship. Like, what are those busts called?
The figurehead? I don't remember.
Figurehead, yeah, of the ship. Figurehead. I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the ferret is now like the figurehead of the ship with the sword out, and that is the ferret's voice moving forward. Yeah. And this is Diya.
Incredible. And Diya piloting the ship, the camera moves back. Sylvia Etherhorn, what do you look like? And what are you doing in this moment as you all spot the helmsman glowing with green energy in the distance?
Boy. Sylvia is I don't actually know what the average height for a satyr is, so I don't know if
A little
5
taller than humans because there's some hoof to account for, but that's about it.
Okay, so she's like 5'11 and a half, and she's got some pretty nice looking, not too fancy, but still distinguished leather armor on. 2 katanas affixed to the left side of her hip, and a little side pouch as well on the right. She has, different from most satyrs, where they have goat-esque horns that curl. They're actually just straight up gazelle horns. And she also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I'm remembering it now. She has a tattoo on the left side of her neck of, like, I guess technically you could call it a compass. It's like, the one of those cool looking compass tattoos that's got different angles, kind of like a star, and each of the pole points is longer than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle is actually an eye. And she is looking bewildered and realizing that there will be no respite. It is time to do some splashy slashing.
Little group
Splashy
chat joke.
slashing.
Amazing. And finally, Hedrover, what do you look like? Where are you on the hover ship?
Hedrover heels is toward the back of the ship, looking backwards, trying to see how far it is to swim to shore. Hedrover here is a 4'1" hill dwarf, looking older than time, and not like the cool, rugged old, but like someone should get him somewhere safe with like a bunch of juice and a nap. He has an eye patch that's like barely covering one eye. He has some rags on that are going over his arms a little bit because they're too big for him. He's wearing some plate mail armor on right now, but none of it's like fitting right. It kind of looks like when you put on a Party City costume too fast. The chest piece is a little crooked. and like the arm plating, like they're not even. None of it looks good. With the seaweed clinging on to like a really long gray beard. Again, none of that looks like refined or like rugged or intimidating. It looks like he just like fell out of the water and you're like, oh, is he dead? He should be dead. So not looking great.
Amazing. And that being said, let's start this battle. All right, so here's the way this is going to work. Yes, Terra is in the distance. Yes, she is on foot. She is covered in all sorts of weaponry. The axe is pointing towards you, but you do see a longsword at her side and one wrapped up thing on her back. She takes it off of her back. There's a lot of Transformers like noises as the thing unwinds into a portable sky skiff, which she jumps on. And she is ready to charge at y'all.
Oh boy.
Looks like this might be some vehicular combat. Sylvia, you are first in the initiative order. What are you doing in this moment? She is off in the distance. Like, it's not even worth talking about how far away she is from you all right now. You would not be able to run off and meet her at this moment.
Okay, so at level 3, and I just tried to consult my character sheet, and I'm unsure because it says max CR, and it's like a 1/4. So I'm just trying to get an idea of what my current challenge rating for wild shapes is at level 3.
It is 1/4. So
1/4?
1/4 is a very low challenge rating. These are creatures that one adventurer could pretty reliably fight by themselves.
I see. Okay.
So if you look at a list of monsters by CR, all the beasts that have 1/4 are fair game for you.
Okay. As well, I don't know if it does, but I've already done it twice, so I don't think it can be retconned. The tiger, the gazelle tiger. I think due to the fact that she's very far away, and because it cost me an action, I'm just gonna pop a squat. You're gonna see Sylvia get on all fours, and then her like shoulders like bend and hunch, and then she just sort of does this full body just like shake, and then you see her horns get longer, and then she goes into her hybrid gazelle tiger wild shape form, preparing for this battle.
Amazing. So for anyone just tuning in, Sylvia is a moon druid. She is a gazelle shifter, satyr, kind of like some of the Zoan fruit users in One Piece. So we are reflavoring all her transformations as being gazelle-like, even if statistically we use a tiger or owlbear or something like that. So you are on the hover ship. There's not a lot of room for you now as you turn into this buff four-legged gazelle.
Sylvie, I can't. You're in. Just like squat, lay down. I can't see where we're going.
I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna like look at him, and then like begrudgingly like give a little half snarl, and then try to make myself just like small, and I guess sit until it gets closer to a time where I can actually do something, and just lick my paw, I guess.
Amazing. Are you a tiger gazelle? Do you have paws or do you have hooves?
Oh, I get lick my hoof. Sorry, lick my hoof.
Incredible. So Diya, since you are piloting the ship, your actions on your turn are going to be a little bit more restricted than usual, but you tell me what you want to happen and we will figure out if it is possible.
All right, so what I want to do for the time being is I want to spend my entire action and bonus action just piloting the hell out of the ship.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but maybe we just run?
Into her?
No! Away!
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Yeah, why not?
Okay, shall we go then?
I guess snort in agreement.
I have an idea.
All right.
So, do I need to do anything?
So rather than solving this thing with the distance, because I'm not going to track, oh, you move 300 feet, but they move 270 feet, you are going to be making a piloting check, which is an intelligence check plus your proficiency bonus, to see how well you do, and she's going to make her own piloting check using strength.
Cool. Yeah, I was going to say, if it makes it easier, I can just do... Yeah. Cool. Rock and roll. Let's see what we get here, baby. Ooh. You said intelligence plus proficiency.
That's right.
That is going to be a 21.
21. Amazing. We'll see if she can beat that on her turn to catch up. Diya, describe how you pilot away. I do also want to add, Terra is standing directly in the path of the ocean where you know that it's less than a day's travel to get to the Steam King.
Oh,
so are you trying to go
through?
Are you trying to go through? Are you trying to go around until you lose her? What are you doing?
What I am picturing is my little fair friend at the front going, I'm pointing out different paths, and I'm like, kind of juking left and right, trying to potentially out-juke her, get around her, and go, because this isn't particularly a fight that Diya thinks they can win.
Okay. All right, so you're trying to go towards her, but juke her a little bit. Okay. Noted. Terra's turn. She's going to make a piloting check of her own. She's going to use strength. She is high level. She has a good proficiency bonus. She's going to get a +8 to whatever she rolls. So, her sky skiff is on the ground next to her. And since she's so far away, only the audience hears this. And she says, "Your heads will look well on the interior of the Jade Whale." And boom, she kicks off of the ground with her foot. The sky skiff, glowing with Magitech energy, flies towards all of you.
Oh my!
She needs to get at least a 13. She got a 13.
Wow.
+8. So she is within range. She takes her battle axe out, and as she starts to skim by all of you, you are now like about to cross paths. She makes an attack on your ship.
I don't like it.
That is
So, question before you say that,
Mhm.
can I, as a reaction, since I'm limited, can I cast shield on the ship?
You may.
Wait, can I cast protection on the ship? Because is the ship an ally?
I will say that the ship is something you can interact with in this instance, because I want to make vehicle combat more than just a moving
That's
platform.
cool.
Protection
Okay,
is not a reaction, though. Oh,
Yes,
yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's not
It
a spell.
is,
It's your skill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she rolled a natural 18, so you're gonna want to hope this one is low.
Holy Lord, yeah.
Ship stats. Let's say 100 HP, and it's a pretty small and light ship. We'll say 16 AC.
Yeah.
100 HP, 16 AC. So
I want to like use my body and my shield as a shield to like protect against the ship.
thanks to both protection and shield, her first attack misses.
Oh,
She has 2 more.
there we go.
Too easy.
That would be a natural 20. Wait, does protection work on multiple attacks?
I don't know this.
I
One
don't think it
reaction,
does.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Okay, all right. So 1 attack hits and crits, and her last attack,
It's one reaction, yeah.
it's a natural 8. Yeah, shield is not going to cut it. So she hits once and crits once against this. Her poleaxe is a D10. So that is going to double. That's fell out of my tray. 18 plus 8. She has dealt 26 points of damage to the ship as she is flying past, and her poleaxe just grinds through the side of the ship. The ship has 100 HP, but the more damage it takes, the harder it's going to be to fly.
Oh, no, we just got that. Please, please don't. Oh.
Hedrover, you're up. Terra is now not that far away. She just grinded, and she looks like she's going to like whirl around to come over and attack again.
Is she in hitting like how feet wise? How far is she?
We are not going with feet right now because it is just way too much to calculate when your ships are moving like 100 feet per turn. So you tell me what you want to do,
If
and
I
I'll tell you if
like,
it's feasible.
If I medieval joust style dual hand my warhammer and swing at her body, what would happen?
I will allow that. She literally matched.
I'm gonna like stand on the bow of the ship and just swing.
Okay,
like,
awesome.
with the force of the ship going that fast.
So she grinds into the ship. Hedrover, make an attack to see if you are able to wham into her.
Cool. Oh crap. I rolled a 12.
Plus anything, or is that to hit?
It's a 7+5.
Nope, she is just moving way too fast. She grinds through side of the
All
ship,
good.
and like a second too late, you're like, it's hard swinging your warhammer on this ship, even harder than usual.
Okay. Are there any dents or like is the skip that we're on, is it like noticeably damaged?
Tavern music. No, to get out of there.
Has it taken damage, or is it just like
It has. The only thing that can cure inorganic material that I think you might have is mending. I don't know.
I
if
have
you...
mending. I'm gonna cast mending.
You have mending. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's a 1 minute casting time.
Forget that. Let's say you heal a D8 plus your bonus
Okay.
per turn. If you choose
Cool.
to... Well, if
I'm
you
doing
choose
that.
to mend with your action. So that
Yeah,
would
I'm-
have to be next turn.
Oh, okay. Mending is the action. Okay. It's not a bonus action. Okay. It doesn't list it here. Okay. So.
And Matt, you wanted to say something? You pointed at yourself?
Oh, no, I was just going to say a part of my ship actions I can use to mend because I also have mending. You guys can work on offense.
Okay. I think with that in mind, I am going to. Can I prep a reaction as a bonus action, or is that strictly an action?
No. Prepping a reaction? What are you trying to do?
The next time that she takes a swing, I'm gonna try to use protect on more than just one swing.
Oh, interesting. I would say that costs an action to do.
Got it. Okay, then I think I'm just gonna save my bonus action.
All right, you miss her just barely. Thanks to the rocking of the ship, she is coming around the back for another strike. Sylvia, you're up.
Can I? So she's not in melee yet, but she will be.
She will be, yeah.
Can I hold my action so that when she is within range, that I can make an attack?
Abso-freaking-lutely, you can.
Okay, so I will do just that. I'm gonna kind of ready myself so that when she gets within range, I
Mhm.
can try and make like a stamping hoof attack to like back her the fuck off, or maybe even knock her off her fucking skiff.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be pretty helpful if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
I'll say that's how we resolve melee combat in this situation, because it's like
Mhm.
boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah,
If you are
yeah.
preparing something, yeah, you can wham her.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Sylvia?
I think I don't have shit for the ship because I don't think you can cure wounds the ship.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna have to be it.
And you're not a long-range fighter, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm only gonna
But
do
you got your
wounds.
action prepped. We'll see if anything comes of it. Diya, your turn.
Doing the maneuvers didn't seem to do a whole lot to help. So Diya's just going to continue to go straight, and he's going to attempt to cast Fairy Fire on this unfortunate individual.
Okay, and we'll just say it's in range. What does she have to beat?
Dex 16.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Dex 14.
She got an 18 total, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
She did not
that does
dump
not work.
Dex.
Yeah, we're good. I have the information I need now.
But for the chase aspects of everything, Diya, go ahead and make a piloting check.
Okay,
We'll
cool,
just
cool,
have
cool.
you do it for every turn to see who's outpacing who.
Let's see. Is going to be a 19.
19. Diya, you start speeding up, and Terra, after doing that powerful blow, the momentum of her axe swing kind of throws her off balance, and it takes her a few seconds to continue pointing the sky skip at you. She rolled a natural 4 plus 8 on her piloting check to try and keep up with you. So Diya, you see that you are outpacing Terra a little bit now.
Let's go.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right, so she did not get close enough to make an attack. Hedrover, it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to cast. I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on Terra.
Okay, awesome. And what saving throw is that?
The Wisdom 13.
Wisdom is not negative, but she rolled a natural 2. So, She actually has not taken damage yet, so roll
Yeah, it's gonna be the normal D8.
roll the lower side.
Yep. That's an 8.
Oh wow, nice, amazing. So, describe how you cast Toll the Dead on this woman, boom, speeding after you on a little sci-fi skiff.
The moment that Hedrover and Terra are like as close as they could reasonably be going this fast, I look her like dead in the eyes basically, and like make the motion of a clanging bell over her head like as they're passing, and then I continue to zoom by and nothing happens.
There's like this bonging that only you and she can hear, but everyone sees this clang of dark energy, and she like grabs her head in pain as this happens.
Okay.
Awesome. Good stuff. And you got your shield up ready to protect the ship if she's able to attack it again. You are starting to outpace her. If you outpace her enough times...
Matt has maybe a bullshit question.
Oh,
Please. I
I
love
was about
bullshit
to.
questions.
I think we might have the same question.
So this is Matt being creative with his spell casting. This is a reaction spell, which is why Matt's jumping in here.
Mhm.
So, Featherfall reduces a movement speed to 60 feet per second, and it says a creature falling. Technically, someone flying through the air is falling sideways.
What is the casting range of Featherfall?
60 feet.
I will allow you to cast Featherfall on her. That being said, she's not going to be slowed down unless she is falling downwards towards with the force of gravity. Meaning, if you knock her off of the thing, she's going to be slowly drifting towards the ground.
Oh, so she wouldn't be able to like immediately grab her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Is there a saving throw? Or
No. It's just Featherfall.
No.
It's because it's usually something cast on your allies. Diya, as you're piloting the ship,
This is
describe what
hilarious.
this action looks like as you cast it.
Oh my God.
So for the first time, you guys see Diya kind of like scrambling about. He reaches into his vest and pulls out a pocket of feathers, tosses them into the air. The wind catches them. They blow them back into her face. She's like, and
Incredible.
that is Featherfall.
That's it.
That-
Oh
just
my
throwing
God,
feathers at her?
We're doomed.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Incredible. So
that was a reaction. I'm also down to like 1 first level spell.
incredible.
So that's cool.
Sylvia, I think I skipped your turn, but you are continuing to hold action, right?
Yes, I'm just gonna keep on holding.
What I will say, so that you're not just sitting there doing nothing, is I'll say that you can stack attacks with holding actions in this
Oh,
situation.
so then I should have 2 now.
That's right.
Amazing.
Just because it's boring for you to sit there doing nothing.
I mean, I'm loving the shenanigans.
Right.
I can't laugh, or maybe there's some strange snorting that's coming out of my current form, but know that it is laughter at this display, especially the Featherfall.
Amazing. All right, so
I
she's
love
made her piloting check. Diya, please make yours as well.
All right, here we go. Ooh, baby, nat 20.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
There
my
we go.
god. All right, with a nat 20, I'll say you'll only have to beat her piloting check one more time for you to completely
Let's
outpace her.
go.
I was expecting this to be a lot harder, but with a nat 20, Diya, you slam it into gear right as you are cresting. Are you going back towards the ocean at this point?
Yeah, we're like beelining it away.
Okay. So, you see a wave, and hover ships kind of hover a set amount of distance with their amount of Magitech off of the ground. You time your press of the pedal right as you see this wave that you can bounce off of, and as she is speeding after you, not quite able to catch up, you are officially off of Volan's island. You are both on the water chasing each other on your hover ships. You guys on your bigger one, her on her skiff. There are waves starting to crash around you. It is raining. Why not? Because it's cool.
Diya just like whoops. Just like, adventure!
Amazing. And for all of Terra's weapons, it does not seem like she has anything to hit you guys at a distance. So she's not able to
More
catch up.
Pikachu.
Hedrover, it's your turn.
Okay. Okay, I want to do something dumb. I'm gonna
Please.
cast Thaumaturgy so because I'm pretty sure Kara is undead and would I've read it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy to cast the sound directly behind Kara's ears, basically the sound of the death vultures that we heard earlier. It's like a whole flock of them from behind her ears.
Ooh, okay. Tavern music.
So that's actually very fake for what's about to happen.
Honestly, fair.
Oh my god.
Hedrover, Flock of Vultures is kind of big for a cantrip, but I will definitely allow the cry of a vulture.
Yeah, it has like a credible raven, so yeah, that's totally.
This is going to be a deception check.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll that.
Oh, it's a 6.
What's that smile, Michael?
It was a 6.
You know, sometimes we fly too fast.
I should have asked to make it not deception. I could have
it's bad.
I could have swung nature. I could have oh, I know what a bird sounds like.
Listen,
Animal handling.
It's a rough situation. There is rain around you. There are waves crashing. She is not able to be distracted by this cry, unfortunately. But good news is, if Diya beats her next piloting check, you're out. You're good.
Fingers crossed.
Sylvia, do you want to stack a third attack?
I do, because if she pulls something and manages to get there, she's getting fucking.
Amazing. And paint a mental image for us. What does it look like as the hoverboat is over the waves with Sylvia standing? Are you bracing yourself? What do you look like
I'm
about
definitely. I think at first it was taking me a little bit to get my bearings. She probably thought this might not have been the best idea on this tiny ship, but I think as her sea legs are getting there, because she's been on ships before. She's got this perfect sort of, almost as if she's like a waterbender, just very moving with the current, ready, and just has the hooves just occasionally between being on 4 legs and maybe being bipedal for a second, just in case she looks like she's getting close.
Amazing. Right as y'all kind of crest up along with a wave, Sylvia, perhaps you buck a little bit. There's a crash of thunder. There's a silhouette of you all jumping over the thing with your silhouette bucking visible. It goes down.
Amazing.
Horns forward. You have 3 stacks in case she is able to get close to you.
Oh yes.
Diya, this piloting check is gonna decide a lot.
As Julian knows, I like to be creative with my spells, so here is a creative one, and feel free to nix this. So, as we crest through, with that nat 20, we're plowing forward through that wave. So, what I would like to do is, as we plow through the wave, I would actually like to use absorb elements to take in that energy of the water as we're pushing through it, and then turn around and spit it out like a jet engine to propel us forward even faster.
So, absorb elements. Water is not one of the elements that can be absorbed. However,
That would have been cool.
That would be cool. It's okay.
If you want to hold your sword up and potentially get struck by lightning and take some damage, I would allow this.
Okay.
Wait, is there some lightning right now?
If you're in a storm now. There's a storm. There's rain falling. There is a crash of lightning.
Let's go. Let's do a luck check to see if I get struck by some lightning. Let's do
This
this.
might have consequences for all of you on the ship. Just a heads up.
Oh my god.
Because I don't think I can cast absorb elements in wild shape.
After that nat 20, Diya is on cloud 9. This is his shit. He is in the zone. He is unstoppable right now. So he holds up that sword. Adventure!
I'm gonna roll a d20. 10 or above, it happens.
Oh boy.
Hedrover is praying to God that no one's ever heard of before.
So, Diya, you hold your sword up into the air. All of you see Diya do this as you crest over a wave. And you're not really sure why he does it, because he's kind of just standing there. And then, boom! I knocked my own headphones off. I got too into it.
Jimmy just called him Ben Benjamin Franklin.
Oh my god.
Diya.
Also, not Katara, but furry. I mean,
This is level
Oh
2.
my god.
So,
Yeah, so all right, so
how much damage do I take?
I think it's only fair if it's equivalent to the lightning
Wait.
bolt spell.
Oh, 100%.
Wait, but can I? Okay.
This guy's
can
gonna
I?
go unconscious.
Wait, can I
Oh,
use?
no.
Okay, this is an attack that you're rolling right now.
Well, he wants to get hit by it. That's the issue. So
No,
if
but
you use
I
protection on him-
want to distribute some of the damage to myself. 'Cause I like
Oh,
I
fair
will allow
enough.
you to distribute the damage to yourself.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I know protection. Isn't
Okay.
gonna do anything.
Okay,
I'm just gonna-
I will allow you to split the damage between yourselves. Okay?
Okay.
So, Diya, because you did it first, we are going to split 13 and you are 33, excuse me, and you are going to get the rounded up portion.
Ooh.
So,
So I'm gonna hopefully I roll big on these two.
you're going to take a 17 depending on what absorb elements looks like, and Hedrover, you take 16 points of lightning damage seeing what's about to happen.
Okay.
I mean, I wish I could lie about that, but that is a 2 and a 3 on the D6.
So you take
So,
it's 2 and a 3 and 5. You take 12 points of lightning damage.
ooh, I am
I took more.
barely standing.
Wait,
with
you almost
7
knocked out your
HP.
own pilot
I
with this.
almost knocked out myself. So, but with this bullshit of doing this maneuver, will you allow me to roll my check with advantage?
Oh my
You are gonna
God.
blast her with lightning. Yes. So you are going to make
I'm
an attack.
down.
You
Oh
are going
my
to make an
God.
attack roll on her.
Oh, an attack roll.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
I
light-
was just trying to like propel the skiff, but let's
Oh,
go
you are trying to.
attack
Oh,
roll.
are you trying to hit her or propel the skiff?
No. This isn't an attack. This is
Oh, okay.
like me absorbing energy, just like
I thought
fucking
you were trying to
hyper
hit her.
speed.
Oh,
No, this is like
I
hyper
killed
speed.
myself for nothing.
lightning would not propel the ship forward. I could see the argument for fire. Lightning would not.
Okay, then I guess yeah.
You could supercharge the ship.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
Okay.
was powering up the ship.
So you
to, like-
grab this lightning, Hedrover's like, "You idiot! You fool!" and tries to knock it out and then falls unconscious. Diya, this lightning is striking you. You feel your entire body shaking before you plunge your sword into the ship, power charging it. Please make this check with advantage. This is so dumb.
Oh, thank God for that advantage. This one is going to be a 18.
And that's going to beat her 10. So
Oh,
Diya.
Wow.
Wait, is Hedrover unconscious?
Yes.
I'm dead.
Oh!
Wow, Matt just literally in character. No, there was actually, sorry, not in character. Just did not realize Hedrover was dead. The ship is supercharged. All the Magitech technology in the ship whirs to life and blasts forward. Sylvia, you are on the back of the ship, so you are the only one to see that as the waves are going back and forth, you are leaving Terra in the dust. She, like, starts to, like, lower her axe like she cannot believe what is happening before you speed out of sight and out of initiative.
I'm gonna immediately drop Wild Shape and cast Cure Wounds on Hedrover.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. D8
as
plus
the only other
wisdom.
person with some heals.
Yep.
Let's see here. How much are you gonna get? Hopefully more than like 1. I did not mean to cast that 2 times. Whoops. And it is 1d plus 2. You're gonna get. Oh, yikes! You're getting 3 HP. Is what you're getting, but it's better than nothing.
Hedrover, you're back up at 3.
You can heal yourself from now on, or from this point on. Rather.
You awaken. There is rain crashing around you, but it seems like the tension of the combat has calmed down.
Am I dead yet?
Okay.
Did you all see what I did? I summoned the lightning, powered the ship, and we outraced her, just like true adventurers.
I feel like a true adventurer.
Did you see what happened to Mr. Heals?
No, that was great, kid. You did wonderful.
No,
I love it.
No, he needs to learn. What if I was incapacitated?
Oh, can I
Kill
take
you,
off the
Hedrover.
facade now? That was horrible. Why would you do that?
What happened, Mr. Heels?
I died.
You
I
did?
still- I don't even know what that was. It wasn't God. It was something worse. Why would you do that?
Oh, so you didn't see how I piloted? Oh, that's unfortunate. But you're
I
okay
saw my
now,
life
right?
flash before my eyes. It sucked.
Oh, you're making a joke because the lightning in your life flashed before your eyes. But,
Maybe just next time in the future, we try
Kill
to think
me!
about the fact that, summoning lightning to do anything in the vicinity of this very small ship could potentially lead to some splash damage. No pun intended.
My organs. Ow.
Maybe heal yourself a bit more, Hedrover. I did the best I could.
I'll do that in a second.
I
Kid, I saw that. I was like, I'm not gonna let some other stupid kid die on a ship, and I grabbed onto you for dear life, and then you ended up better than I did. How did that mess up?
I was trying to help.
Your heart was in the right place. Just
My heart's in a different place now.
maybe a little more
Less lightning.
analyzation in your mind for your tactics before you decide to do something so brash. I think it was cool, and luckily I didn't get hurt, or I probably wouldn't be as chill as I am now. But maybe you should, I don't know, go give him
Are we-
a pat on
we-
the back or something. Apologize. Just
Did
like
we at
kind of
least get
whispering
your-
that to Diya.
Tell me she's at least dead.
Oh no, she's very much still alive. I think.
What
we
was the
managed to give her
lightning
skin.
for?
Well, you see, the engine is designed from a artificial crystal, and if you are able to supply it with enough, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. The lightning made the ship go fast.
Why do you just like put your foot on the gas pedal? I don't know how this stupid thing works. So we went with lightning bolt our friends.
I did not anticipate the
You
amount of.
anticipate lightning killing somebody?
I thought I'd be able to handle it.
You did! That's the messed up part! I didn't handle it! I have myself to blame for believing in this.
Yeah, maybe next time,
Have less faith. Rule number 2. Number 1, lie all the time. Number 2, don't believe in anybody.
I
Cause
don't
they're
know if I'd
lying!
go that far, Hedrover. Just exercise, the pros
How
and
much
cons of
farther can we
something.
go? I died!
You didn't die. You just lost consciousness, Hedrover. If you
What's
died,
the difference?
I wouldn't have been able to bring you back if you were dead. I'm not a
Okay.
cleric. I just gave you some heals.
I'm the cleric. I should know better.
Consciousness. There you go. Maybe
You know what, kid?
take
Lesson
a
number
nap
3.
in the corner or something. Just
I'm gonna
heal yourself
take a
a
nap
bit.
and
I'd
maybe
say
if I-
take a lap, but this is not a very large.
I'll take a lap anyway. Why not? I need the exercise. Kid, lesson number 3. Number 1, lie all the time. Number 2, don't believe in anybody. Number 3, you only have yourself to blame. That's so I only have myself to blame. I made my choices and I live with them. That's life. Ain't that a kick in the pants? I'm taking a walk. Hedrover paces the 4 square feet that there is to walk on this ship, back and forth.
I'm
Sylvia,
just gonna go ahead.
Sylvia, I don't understand. This is nothing like what my uncle would tell me about adventures.
Is your uncle here? I'm taking a walk. I'm sorry. I should take. I'm far away now. I'm on the other side of the ship. You can't even hear me. Uh-oh, waves.
What exactly does your uncle tell you? I mean, it doesn't have to be right now, but I think maybe a thorough discussion about, adventuring and your thoughts on them versus the real world application that we're facing right now could be in order. But again, I don't want you to beat yourself up. I think you helped us get out of there, and while your sunny disposition may be a bit much for me sometimes, I hate to see it fade because you feel like you've done wrong. So
My uncle's one of the greatest adventurers of all time. And he would always tell me about the daring stories of him and his party going out and rescuing people and finding the treasure, defeating the bad guy, and ever since I was a child, that's what I aspired to be. My parents encouraged me, and I didn't think people could, because people always got brought back to life. They get hurt, but I didn't know.
The real world's a little different from the stories you hear, Diya. And what better way to learn than firsthand, with people who are luckily around to have you rally around him. If you were by yourself, that could have been a lot different. But I think maybe it is important to realize that you aren't by yourself, and your actions could affect the other people involved, and none of us are immortal or immune to the ties that bind. I mean, just think about when we were on the first ship, those vultures really did a number on you.
I was died then too, remember?
Yes, Mr. Heels. How's that walk coming?
My feet hurt.
Sylvia, maybe I'm not supposed to be an adventurer.
Now hold up a goddamn minute. And I turn around. Hedrover is very clearly crying.
Clearly crying.
There's seawater in my eyes. Listen, kid. Who am I to let the flames of youth die out? We are nothing if not our parents' children.
I was fine putting myself in danger, but you almost died because of me. And
yeah, but I'm alive. Look, listen, I've made more mistakes in my youth than I can count, and there are many mistakes. And listen, I'm still here at the end of the day, and sure, plenty of people I deeply care about are gone now because of those mistakes. But the point is, you're still walking at the end of the day, and as long as you're still walking, you're still kicking, and you're still breathing, you can protect the remaining people you care about. And maybe if you're lucky and you know enough about the dead, you can bring them back. God, do I hope. Because otherwise, this would be a wash. I want to go back to crying. I mean, walking.
I don't know, Sylvia. I like the words, but I don't know if I could stand your death being on my hands. I have to think about this. And Diya goes back and just kind of sits down at the helm of the ship and kind of, 1,000-yard stare kind of pilots.
I think that your ferret kind of goes up and just sits comfortably in your lap as you're behind the wheel.
Sylvia, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, so I wanted to make the kid feel better by healing myself up and saying hey, it's all okay, but I did horrible with healing word. It did not look good, so I can't even pretend to be okay right now. But I'll do my damn best. Look, the kid's young. We were young. We were all young before. Some of us sooner than others. But I don't want the kid putting a damper on his pamper just because one measly malpractice and potential manslaughter.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he does need to learn that his actions do have consequences, and unfortunately us telling him so up until now has not really done the trick. So I think he has the propensity to bounce back more than we think he does. And I think seeing that you're okay and knowing that we can take care of ourselves, and we've only really put ourselves in harm's way to protect him thus far, may make him have a bit more of a methodical approach in his adventuring. He does remind me of myself when I was younger. I mean, I'm only 29 now, but him talking about his uncle reminded me of my grandmother and how much I loved talking to her about her adventures on her pirate ship and how much I wanted to follow in her footsteps. But I too had to learn pretty early on that things that you hear and the things you do are very different.
And look, we're all products of experience, and this is my first of many go-arounds. So, look, half of living and learning, first half of living, I'm alive. What are you gonna do? And learning. I think he learned his lesson. Look how depressed he is. Let me
Here.
let's give the kid a pat on the back. Cause think of it, without that ingenuity, we'd all be dead. Sarah would have killed us. I have no confidence in our ability to get out of that situation without what Diya did.
We're gonna circle back to that then, because I think you need a bit of a self-esteem boost yourself.
I'm so empty on the
You
inside.
literally killed a dragon, Hedrover. Come on.
I tried to make the sound of a vulture cry, and it went like, that's not good. I'm supposed to know how to do that.
Life
didn't.
is full of
Surprising,
hills
I
and
know.
valleys. Hills and valleys, Hedrover.
Some are 6 feet deep, you know what I'm saying? Diya, listen. I turned to Diya, who's looks like giving the Kubrick stare at this point. Look, a wise man with really cool beard and a nice outfit once said, "There's two halves to living and learning. There's the living half. Look at me, I'm still kicking.
Scott's just repeating this.
For better or for worse, am I right? The other half is learning. And look how depressed you are. Probably learned something today, didn't you?
I learned I might not be an adventurer.
No, that's a bad learning. Look, the fact that we're alive right now, I have negative amounts of confidence that we could have gotten out of that situation alive without your interesting approach to tactics and reasoning.
But no, you guys are right. This entire thing has been an example of how I'm not good at this. I touched the heart and it disintegrated in my hands, so that one's on me. I wasn't able to do anything when we fought the dragon. I just made them glow, and then when we were fighting, I killed a horse.
The glowing, when it
That
comes
was
to that
cool.
dragon fight,
Why
that
is-
was very,
Okay,
very good.
Wanna know why? Let's look at it this way. Ready? The dragon thing, you lit the dragon up, and I kicked its ass. We fought a nightmare, and I kicked its ass. There was a thing with the heart thing, that's unavoidable. Sometimes 2 out of 3. Those are good odds.
Exactly. You made my point. I haven't done anything.
You're
at all.
helping me! That's what adventurers do, they help people, like old timers like me.
I don't know.
You're an integral part of this ragtag team that we have going on right now, Diya. So I don't think you should be too hard on yourself. This is but a lesson to learn and take forward, but don't let it just completely put you in a state of mind where you don't think you can be an adventurer anymore. Adventuring is dangerous. There are going to be times where we get hurt and lose consciousness, but that's part of the joy. And you are just as important a member of this ragtag group as the rest of us. That glowing helped Hedrover kick his ass, just like you said.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Neither one of us know how to drive these fucking things, so we wouldn't have been able to get away without your help. Hedrover wanted to protect you because you
I
had
made
the
that
zany
choice.
idea. So if anything, we should be talking shit about Hedrover and make him depressed, you know?
Damn right.
Actually,
and I can't
no.
get any lower than I already am.
As soon as I said that, it just didn't feel right. Don't. That's not a good.
I
That's
am
not a good
such
thing to
a
learn.
failure.
Oh, what am I gonna do with you two?
We all
Oh
kinda
my
suck at
god,
this,
I'm
don't we?
living a lie.
We suck now, but that just means that we have so much room to grow. If we start at rock bottom, the only way to go is up.
Exactly. Think of all those city gyms back there that they think they're so smart swinging axes going at like Mach 5 on those boats. They can't get much cooler than that. We suck. We can only get better.
They can't possibly get any cooler. Their lives must suck.
They were like swinging axes and like taking hits on our boat with like one hand, like one eye open, partially undead. I don't know how that worked. We're just a bunch of we're the fire friends. The adventure awaits.
Yeah, it's a working title for now, but sure, third.
Write that one in your book and write it.
I'll think about it. For now, let's just get to the next island.
Adventure!
Adventure.
What? Couldn't hear it over the waves. Say it louder.
I'm not going to yell.
You have to yell. Do it for the kid.
Oh, for the love of the gods, adventure!
Yeah, baby!
And as Diya sits solemnly contemplating his actions, the other members of the crew attempting to cheer him up, you all skip forward towards your next location. If anyone needs to pee, now's a great time to do so. As we take a
Oh my
little
god, that
breaky poo.
music was fucking dynamite throughout
That
that
was
Yeah.
so
scene.
great.
So good.
Yeah. So, returning from our little breaky poo, immediately destroying whatever sense of gravitas. The storm has calmed. You are now into a deeper part of the ocean where the waves are more frequent but less intense. It is getting much later in the day. It is basically approaching the later evening. The sun is pretty much entirely down by the time you see the location that you have been looking for. The Steam King's Fortress, the place that you have decided to travel towards. Actually, imagine Michael's background, but a lot less idyllic looking. At night, it is a giant floating island with a big black fortress on it that you all are going towards. The only light lighting it is the moon, and then a dim, almost a dull and dim, so I said dill, dim glow of Magitech lighting the place. Not enough that it's like floodlights, but there is occasionally little like as you see little lines of Magitech energy coursing around the place. You found the Steam King's Fortress. Do you approach?
Oh god, do we need an invitation? Or should we just go knock?
Is it like a password?
Diya, you are piloting the ship. It looks like there's a dock. There's a place for you to park boats.
Dock right there. Just park.
Yeah, what can go wrong?
The hover ship kind of like whirs to a halt, and as you all get off of it, it enters its parked mode, which to conserve energy, it kind of just shrinks into the water and anchors itself. You all get off at the Steam King's Fortress, and almost immediately you hear a as three like soccer ball sized orbs that are mostly gray with lines of Magitech and almost like an eyeball like center to them hover over to you. And then one of the orbs just goes, "State your business."
Is someone else want to tackle this? I'm not good at this.
Hello. We are just a couple of would-be adventurers looking for a chance to maybe speak with someone about acquiring a better seafaring vessel. We were sent here by a friendly tribe of fire genasi from an island nearby.
The orb kind of like glows a little bit. The eye kind of like whirs and blinks, and then it goes, "To purchase a boat, say boat. To speak to a representative, say representative."
Give me a representative! I can't do these things. I hate it.
Boat?
You have selected boat. Follow us. The orbs fly off into the distance.
Interesting.
That was pretty cool.
Was there a doctor option? I still feel a lot of injury.
Hopefully once we get there we can check and see if there are any clerics around.
Well, maybe just a place to bed up for the night.
That could work as well.
Okay, fire the thingamajig.
You all go to follow the 3 floating orbs. And as you all progress forward, you start making your way into this fortress as doors open, some vertical, some horizontal, as you start going inside. And you see an entirely self-automated place, it looks like. There is nobody in there other than all of these robots that are kind of flying around. You see a few automatons on the ground, featureless, either hovering or with wheels. No more appendages than necessary. You have ones that are screwing ship parts on. You have some that are welding ships back together. There is a clang of hammers and a whir of machinery as you enter the fortress of the Steam King. As you all progress forward, the way eventually opens up around a few different hallways, following the path that the orbs are indicating you on. The fortress opens up to a much larger room with a selection of several dozen different boats. The orbs turn around to face you once again, and the orbs say, "No other customers detected in the vicinity. You may peruse as you please. Be prepared to pay."
Oh,
Ooh.
shit.
Can we speak to a representative?
How did I not think about the fact that we would have to pay for this?
You have selected representative.
Thank Christ.
As the orbs start glowing. Please hold.
What's our money situation looking
Not good.
Diya?
I don't have much money.
How much money do I have?
The orb continues ringing as you all speak.
We've got about 25 gold.
Is there any hold music?
It's just kind of ringing until you
Okay.
all of a sudden hear, hello? Can I help you? You hear from
Hey,
the orbs.
Shitty Jim. Listen, we had a question about the boat rental service. Do you have any kind of IOU or loan payment service?
A loan payment, yes, we could certainly do. You're all here quite late. It's several hours past midnight.
We're the Ferret Friends. We work night shifts.
Ferret
this
friends,
is-
are you a troupe of performers?
Surely you have not heard of us?
No. We're not. My friend here is a little worse for wear, and it's actually pertinent.
I
to
can
bring
pay an
at the time.
exposure.
We could maybe use lodging if now's not a good time to talk business.
You know what? Hold a moment. I am obviously awake. I'm just not used to, humanoid visitors at this hour. Just a moment. You hear the sound of something hanging up, and after about a minute or two of waiting, you all see in the back there's an elevator that you did not notice before. An elevator that looks a lot like a giant tube
Great.
That's
that
good.
goes all the way down.
Not terrifying at all.
And walking towards all of you, you see a Warforged standing at about 5'10", so decently tall, not the tallest, incredibly thin. This is a Warforged. You're not really sure what the purpose of creation was, because with most Warforged, you can look at them and be like, this one's for combat, this one's for sailing, XYZ. This is just kind of like a tall, skinny Warforged, very low detail face, incredibly smooth and polished, but the only features are 2 glowing blue eyes. It walks towards you. Hello? Welcome. Can I... You all are looking for lodging and a ship? Yes?
Yeah, in that order.
Lodging and then a ship. So, rest for the night and then find a ship on the morrow to purchase.
Yes, if that's possible. Some of us are just a little worse for wear and could maybe use a good night's rest before we talk business.
I'm way past my bedtime.
Certainly, yes, of course. I completely understand. I should know that mortals need rest. Mortals need rest. Yes.
And food.
And food. All right. Dinner to your rooms or dinner in a dining room.
What would the cost of these things be? It may be more pertinent since we don't know the prices of your vessels to maybe be a little prudent.
Now that we can't afford them,
beforehand.
it's more like, is it worth paying for? You know what I mean? Come on, bump up my shoulder. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right, Slim?
You don't believe these ships are worth paying for?
No, the food. I meant like I'm so stuffed already. I'm like, should I buy or should I eat out or should I cook?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I so rarely get guests. The food and the lodging can be free of charge.
Oh,
Lovely.
splendid.
Yes, usually people come and go. I'll be quite frank. It's been about you see like a few numbers flash across the eyes of the Warforged. It's been about 106 years since I've last had guests stay the night.
106?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh,
Can I do a history check on what I know about the Steam King's Island?
Yeah, go
The
for it.
fortress stuff.
Go
Okay.
for it.
can I do?
While he's oh, go ahead.
Can I do a perception check to just kind of get well, okay, I guess you can tell me what I should roll. I'm just trying to grasp without an insight check, unless it has to be, if that's valid. Like, would I be able to tell, oh, this place is like really dusty, there's been like nobody, because 106 years is a fucking long time.
You can
and I
do
feel like
perception if you want, and
Okay.
Hedrover got a 21, and then Diya, what were you saying?
While these guys are doing that, Diya has kind of disappeared from behind the two of them and has now appeared behind the Warforged and produced from somewhere. He's now wearing a pair of spectacles, which he's now like, it's like Inspector Gadget style going in, and he's just kind of coming out of his funk a little bit. He goes, "This is absolutely amazing. I've seen Warforged work done before, but you are just absolutely stunning. And the drones, that the way they're hovering in the message system, it was unbelievable. Would you look at this place? It's entirely automated. Each instrument is just pure efficiency, just like one arm to do exactly what is needed, nothing more. It's purely like this is amazing."
The Warforged turns around and says, "Yes, I make do. From what is left in my memory banks, I was designed for efficiency, and that is the philosophy that I try to encapsulate with my fortress." And then Hedrover and Sylvia. Sylvia, what was your perception check?
it was real bad. I got
Okay.
a fucking 2 plus.
Uh,
It's probably gonna be like 11, I think.
Okay. Sylvia, looking around,
8,
106
8.
106
Sorry,
years.
10.
Okay. 106 years is a really long time for this guy to
Mhm.
not have anyone stay overnight. But you're looking around at this place, it looks like a workshop. It's not like a lodging.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you get off a 10. Head
He is, yeah. He's a fucking robot. Lodging probably is just a closet for him.
and Hedrover, off of your history check, what you know about this place is that it is kind of infamously a place for parts and ships. You've never been here, you've never known anyone who has told you they've been here, because it's really out of the way. Like, Volan's Island is a random island in a pretty deadly part of the greater islands of Gran Insulae. So for this fortress to be floating in dangerous waters full of pirates and monsters, which is not necessarily the norm of the more populated parts of the uh, archipelago, it's a very sought after place in a very difficult location. So for people to come here, they need to have the resources to do so already. Military, or I guess navy, in the case of the world of Gran Insulae. Perhaps other pirates, but only ones of suitable renown and power.
All right, fair friends, let's do a little group huddle really quick. For one more time. Just everyone get in here really quick. Slim, you stand over there for a second.
All right.
All right. Listen up. Here, remember? All right, Diya, remember that thing I told you about adventure and like seizing life by the horns and following your own convictions? That's on pause while we're on the island. We will talk to no one. We're gonna get the ship and we're gonna leave. This is not a place for messing around or having fun. This is a place where people exchange monies for boats that are way more important than we are. We're getting in and we're getting out.
But there's so much stuff to see. How can we just get in and out? You could spend a lifetime here.
Ain't life a gas? What if we live more life outside the fortress? That'd be fun, right? What if we stay alive?
Yeah, of course.
As
But hey, we'll have fun outside the fortress.
As you all are chatting, whoever is the closest to facing this very tall warforged might notice a cadre of little automatons coming, all holding trays of mouth-watering food.
Oh, wow.
And the three of you see this 5'10" warforged with glowing blue eyes, very simply designed, and then those little floating orb things, a bunch of automatons, just already have prepared a little feast for you that they are kind of all holding above their heads. And he says, so, would you like dinner in your rooms or in the dining room?
In the room, Slim. That'd be great.
I actually think I'd like to see the dining room.
What are we doing?
Just real quick, you said these are all yours. Are you the Steam King?
Yes.
You're the Steam Slim. You're the Steam King.
Yes, I am.
Hedrover, perhaps you should address him as your Majesty.
Your Majesty Slim. I had no idea. I am so sorry.
No. I'm not a king. That's just what I've been called after these coming up on 2 centuries of setting up shop, mostly steamships back in the day. Everything has become Magitech at the turn of the century, but the name of the Steam King has stuck.
2 centuries? My.
Whew. I remember when I was 2 centuries old. Seems like yesterday.
So,
are you alone on this island?
Are you counting the automatons?
Do the automatons talk?
They primarily in pre-recorded messages.
No, not the automatons then.
Then yes.
Oh God, I feel so bad. Okay, listen, Sir Slim, why don't you have dinner with us? It's been a minute, hasn't it?
It has. I'll have to make sure that the dining room is straightened up and dusted, and make sure that the chairs are. It is done. He just kind of like nods as if received a message. His eyes kind of like blink as if he's just received a message from the other room.
I love it.
You may follow me, and he leads you back to the elevator. And I imagine there's a scene where the elevator rises up and the 4 of you are kind of all crowded into this tube-shaped elevator that's usually only reserved for one very slim warforged. So, are you all from around here?
No.
Oh.
Actually. We
Travelers? Pirates?
Yes,
Adventurers? Oh, well, that is exciting.
So you're telling me you haven't heard of the Ferret Friends?
I have
That's not. It's no coincidence you haven't heard of it. These two have only taken to calling our little group that in the past 72 hours.
What do you
I
mean?
We're known by many names. Who can count them all?
At this
You
point,
said-
you all are walking down a hallway, having gotten off the elevator.
But Sylvia, you said fair friends earlier, didn't you? While we on the boat?
I said adventure. I think, I must have been seasick. I will go on record, just for full transparency with you both, by saying that I absolutely loathe that name and will not be addressed as a member of such. But yes, Steam King, tell us more about this lovely place you have here.
Oh, it's simply a workshop that has perhaps overstayed its welcome. Perhaps we may discuss more. It appears that we've arrived at the dining room, and he takes you to a room that is kind of like way off to the side, but it is a very well decorated hallway, as if it was designed for guests. Very freshly cleaned, like he said, probably has not been used for a while, and you see some diagonally shut doors that come apart, and you see a beautiful old-fashioned dining room on the inside. Very out of place for the sci-fi world that we have been playing in, but for the average D&D game, much more typical. So he looks around at all of you and says, why don't you all come in and have a seat? Yes, make yourselves at home. And he kind of makes his way over to the head of the table. The chair kind of like hovers away automatically for him, and he sits down, and he like perfectly fits into the chair. His legs like fit into the notches, as if he sits in the same position every time he is eaten in this room. And you all may sit down.
What
Nice,
kind
more
of
like
food
it.
is it?
Oh, it is everything you could want. There are big plates of meat and vegetables, and as perhaps you might be like looking at the food in front of you, he says, preservation has come a long way. Some of these foods are over a century old, but they're frozen, fresh, as one could have found on the day that they were slaughtered. And he gives you this big spread of food.
Can I make a nature check on this food to see if it's really as good as he says it is?
You can eat
Or
it.
I don't know if nature would be applicable, but whatever check is applicable. Just
Yeah,
to...
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I will.
While they're looking at food, Diya's like shoveling in his mouth. That's amazing.
Diya, it is delicious. Being the first one to try it.
You made this cookies over a century old?
That's
plus 2, 14
That's right.
on nature.
Technology's come far. We're in a
Wow.
sci-fi world.
I'm eating the meat.
This
I'm
is
gonna
not
take a bite.
this is not stuff that the average person would have access to, but for a technocrat, absolutely.
Wow, that actually is quite good.
In mouthful, Diya looks over at the Steam King. What do you eat?
Oh, as a warforged, I primarily subsist on sorts of fuel. It is possible to digest metals, certain Magitech elements, but they primarily function as fuel. I don't really have a sense of a taste or a mouth, as you can see.
Steam King. You, Sir Slim, Your Majesty, Highness, Your Honor, sir. You would know a thing or two about fuel, right?
We all know a thing or two. I mean, I certainly do. I don't know about all of you.
Well, question: have you ever heard of a fuel source that could like take one hypothetically to the stars, like the heart of some kind of mystical being
Yes.
that can like power shit?
Yes, absolutely. The heart of an Ifriti is probably the most sought after variant of that, though incredibly difficult to acquire. as Afriti are powerful living beings, and they're not simply going to let you get their hearts.
Of course not, that'd be silly. But hypothetically, you wouldn't know where to find an Afriti, would you?
In
What with your
Afriti,
infinite knowledge? I mean, look at all this data and know-how and who's he what's it's.
the one in the vicinity is Volan of a nearby island, but I believe that he has. And then his eyes kind of like flash again. Oh, Volan has passed, and you all are asking about. Were you after his heart?
Foley, that's place so passe. I mean, who wants to go there? Really? This place is the gas. This is the real thing.
I touched the heart and it disintegrated
Oh my god.
It disintegrated.
By accident.
into dust.
An infinite fuel source should not disintegrate. That's not how fuel works. Fuel has to be expended.
We weren't really sure what happened. It just sort of poofed.
Ashes in my hands.
Do you have those ashes?
I don't think Diya bothered to collect them.
I don't think so either.
It also seemed like they just went into the wind and there wasn't even a way to discernibly grab them all, at least the way you described it. So I didn't even think.
Oh, no, I think we did grab the ashes, didn't we?
I don't think we did. I thought that it was just gone. Disintegrated wouldn't have left any ashes.
Disintegrating down to the molecular level is not something that fuel near infinite fire should do. That's very peculiar. Is it perhaps something that is associated with any of your traits? I assume that you have some, just based on a quick analysis of your gear, equipment, poise, a estimate of your fighting stance based on the way you walk. I assume that you all are adventurers with some magical capabilities. Did you perhaps have any interactions with the sphere with magic?
Not that I recall. Diya? Did you do any spells right before
Cast
it
anything
disintegrated?
on it? I mean,
Well, in its vicinity, maybe not directly on it.
I casted a spell while holding it.
What was the spell?
Frost fingers.
Huh.
An ice spell should still not have any impact on. Most peculiar. I find that very strange.
So it's not my fault the heart disintegrated?
I don't think it possibly could be. With all due respect, young man, every single one of us in this room are far too insignificant to have an effect on something like that.
Oh, harsh.
That makes me feel better and somehow worse at the same time.
So,
Why does it make you feel worse?
I'm insignificant.
Insignificant, perhaps was a harsh word, and I will make note of that in my memory banks. I hold on. And he kind of like sits back in his seat suddenly. I apologize. I had to make room in my memory bank to not call humans, mortals, insignificant. I just had to move some other memories for deletion.
What did you delete?
I don't remember. Yes, I apologize. Insignificant. I meant we are beings, and an Ifriti is a near demigod-like amount of elemental power. If on the planes of fire they are royalty. Kings, even, of entire planes of existence, of elemental rage. We would not have the power to make something of it crumble into dust. That is not your fault.
Interesting.
well, whatever the cause was, I think we pretty much left the contract we had to obtain it in the first place. So assuming we continue to be on the run, it's not really our not really our problem anymore.
On the run is so harsh anyway. It's gainfully unemployed.
Oh,
Well,
unemployed
gainfully is
and
an operative word.
adventurers in need of work or in need of.
Yes, work and money.
Money goes a long way.
Buy ships with.
You
Actually-
cannot afford one of my ships.
Not at the moment.
Well, we don't know the prices yet. Could you perhaps give us an estimate of your perhaps cheapest but still quite reliable
Better
vessels?
than what we have.
To seat 3 people. Yes,
Sure.
And a ferret.
and a ferret.
Let's talk about more distance of a boat that can actually, because what the Fire Genasi said is we need a vessel that is capable of traveling to. Where are we going?
It is the floating city of Voss.
The floating city of the city of Voss. We need a ship capable of getting there.
Oh, it's simple. Any of my ships can get you there. That's not particularly difficult. A ship, my smallest ship that can reach Voss, probably runs in the neighborhood of 400,000 gold.
Oh my fucking god.
So, is there a friends and family discount?
The cheapest. The cheapest.
People come here for quality.
Are there any jobs we could do?
My
payment?
automatons have any work I could possibly account for covered. One thing that they are not capable of is company, though. So if you all would quite like to finish dinner with me, I can get you suited with a ship to leave the fortress with tomorrow morning.
That sounds lovely. And we can regale you with tales and jokes and wonderment. We got so many. The kid writes down stories in a book. Would you believe it?
A book? May I see the book?
Started a book about the adventures of the Ferret Friends.
Fair trends, you are the fair. May I see the book?
Yeah, of course. Diya hands him the book.
He takes it in some very slim fingers, opens it, and flips through the pages. Eyes glow. I've absorbed all the information in this book.
What?
Gives it back to you. This is a very strange adventure, very atypical that you all have sought out on. I am familiar with the Lady Pandora Nephrite of the Jade Whale. She is a aristocrat on the surface, but truly one of the most powerful crime lords in Gran Insulae.
Oh,
And her trying to reach the stars is very perplexing. I don't know what she could possibly gain, but I suppose very few of us do. I've never been to space, as it were.
Space. Wow.
And
Where's the tight ship?
why is being unable to put Hedrover's name in the book? How does Diya refer to Hedrover?
Has Diya even listened to Hedrover by actually?
That's the
not
other
putting his name in
question.
the book?
Was that advice listened to?
It just says Hedrover. Amazing. She continues speaking and says, very well, Diya, Sylvia, Hedrover.
Why do you know that? Why do you know the name?
The book. It's in the book.
It's in the what?
It's in the book.
this
What do you
food
mean
is
it's in the book?
this food is really good. Hedrover, you should try the mashed potatoes.
How many lessons must I give you, boy? to not put my
Hedrover,
name in
breathe.
the book?
Breathe, Hedrover.
Breathing will help me now.
Think of your blood pressure.
What blood pressure? There will be no blood left.
Put my name out of the book when we leave the island.
It has been published. It's just a journal right now.
Children become public.
I don't understand. Why does the dwarf not want his name in the book?
got questions you want an answer to,
I don't know.
and you won't know. Keep my name out of it.
He's an elusive one, I guess, would be the best way to say it.
Not all publicity is good publicity.
If you could delete Hedrover from your memory and then put in Grumpy Dwarf in its place.
That can very easily be done.
Grumpy handsome dwarf.
That's
useful.
It is done. Yes, Grumpy Handsome Dwarf. It is.
That's useful. Add that one in.
It's in there.
Thank you.
I have a book as well. Prior to erasing most of my memory banks, I wanted to make sure that the information was not lost. So, just in case of any Magitech explosions or anything, I keep a leather-bound novel of my previous centuries of living in the library.
Wow.
May I read it?
You may, yes.
I would love that.
Yes, I believe you may. I don't remember what I put in there, but you may certainly give it a look if you so desire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I suppose it's only fair for you to know, as we are finishing up this lovely meal, that tomorrow in the morning I will most likely be having customers again, and I would like to, if possible, get you all out quietly. I don't want this. This has been lovely, but I find myself truly overwhelmed by social activity in this moment, and as lovely as it has been, cannot fathom doing this again for at least another 10 years.
I thought you said you hadn't had customers in 160
No, I haven't had
Or
anyone
people that
stay in over 100
Oh,
years.
I see.
The last person, I don't remember, but it's quite possible their name is in my book.
Huh. Okay.
Before we go off to bed, do you have a workshop that I might be able to use to tinker a little bit?
Tinker, yes, I can arrange one. Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
And which way to the library again?
He gestures and a little orb appears and says, my automaton can show you.
Thank you.
Diya turns them. I'm guessing, are we kind of like finished and wrapping up food now?
Yes.
Cool. Diya kind of turns to the guys. I really want to read that book, but there's something that I want to do for our friend, so I'm going to go spend the remainder of the night in the workshop.
Okay, make sure you get some rest, Diya. Oh, God, I sound like a mum. Do what you want. I don't care.
Woohoo, no bedtime. This rules.
I'm gonna. So I'm assuming that the Steam King is just going to. Well, assuming he continues to meander about because I'm still eating, and he wants to like be there, or I will continue eating, and then whenever he does leave, or whenever they leave, I'd like to follow them to speak privately.
Sure, absolutely. So, Hedrover, what are you doing? Diya's going to the workshop, Sylvia's trying to talk to the Steam King one-on-one, and Hedrover, are you going to the library as well?
I'm heading to the library. And can I do... yeah, I'll wait till I get to the library.
Cool. So, let's do Sylvia first. Diya goes off to the workshop, Hedrover goes off to the library. Sylvia, you follow the Steam King until it is just the two of you alone your compatriots have left. Yes, Sylvia Etherhorn, can I assist you?
Oh, yeah, I guess my name is in the book. It struck me that in over 2 centuries worth of service that you may have come across someone who I'm looking for. She's my grandmother. Her name is Beatrice. Etherhorn?
Beatrice. Yes, I assumed you were related once I read your last name in the book.
Oh. So I take it you knew her then?
One encounter. I believe she was fleeing from a navy vessel briefly. It was a brief cannon fight between ships. Happened in the vicinity. She bought a smaller ship to get out of here, and that was my interaction with her.
I see. And you wouldn't happen to know anything, or perhaps have heard any rumblings or musings, not assuming that you're an eavesdropper on purpose, but, you know, can't help but overhear is in a similar vein. But perhaps you may have heard something about a sword known only as the World Shaper.
World Shaper. That is typically beyond my purview. I work primarily with machines, non-mechanical weaponry. I typically deem as irrelevant information for my purposes and function. So if I did hear of it, it was most likely removed from my memory banks long ago. That being said, I don't want to leave you without anything. You all are trying to go to Voss?
Yes.
The floating city of Voss. You may be able to find someone there who can point you in the right direction. Her name is Lirin. Lirin. She is a former customer of mine, very powerful magitechnologist and weapons expert of the city of Voss. You can tell her that I sent you.
Ooh. How do you spell Voss? Just V-O...
Vaas.
V-A-A-S, okay. And you said it was Lirin?
That's right.
Okay. Tell her Steam King sent us. Okay. And, lastly, I understand while this is technically mechanical, it's more of a old-fashioned sort of analog type device, and then I take out the compass. The same grandmother that I mentioned before gave this to me before she took off on her seafaring adventures, and told me to keep it safe and that it would lead me down the right path at some point, but it doesn't seem to work. I've never seen it
May
point in any direction. Sure.
Grabs it, looks at it, gives it a ping, ping, with the fingers. Analog device it is, but this is an incredibly intricate and complicated one. Seems not to respond to magnetic polarity necessarily, but to movements of tectonic plates themselves.
What the fuck?
I think that this is not just a compass, this is a map. Map towards one location, perhaps. Is your grandmother also telling you to look for the World Shaper, as you referred to it?
I mean, she's never directly told me to, but it is something that I've heard many a story from her about since I was young. It belonged to my great-great-grandfather.
And is it in her possession? Do you know if...
No, she doesn't have it. She just told me stories of him using it. It's our family's ancestral blade. It's supposed to be quite powerful and one of the sharpest to ever be made, but...
Sylvia Etherhorn, I know very little about you and your family relative to my wealth of knowledge about most things, but by my power of deduction, this compass will lead you to that blade.
Holy shit.
That being said, it is not responsive to anything now, and having a compass that reacts to movements of tectonic plates is very strange. My hypothesis is that perhaps the destination that it is attempting to point you towards is one that is not stationary, but one that moves.
Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all that you have told me, Mr. Steam King. I don't know how you prefer to be called. This is just very exciting. It's the first time in a long time I've had any sort of lead as to my grandmother or what this thing was that she gave me. I appreciate it.
Yes, I quite like puzzles, so this was quite fun to assist with for me.
And I just take the compass back and you know what? I will go to the little tinkering place just to check in on Diya before I go to bed.
Sure.
See what he's up to.
So we'll resolve Hedrover first, and then head on over to Diya. So Sylvia, you take the compass, a new sense of determination, and Hedrover, you make your way into the Steam King's library. This is being a sci-fi library, there's a mix of books, and then there is a mix of tablets that when you press on them, information appears that you can flip through in the air in front of you. Also in the back in the center, so it seems to be very easy to find, is the oldest looking book here by far, a leather-bound and looks like constantly refurbished book that you assume to be the Book of Memories that the Steam King was previously talking about.
Is there like a directory or anything like that of like what books are being housed here in addition to the memory book?
What are you looking for in particular?
One of two things.
Mhm.
I either am looking for a book related to like gods of the dead or like religions pertaining to the dead,
Okay.
or anything related to like curse reversal.
Sure. You look through the library and get the gist that most of the things kept in here are very sci-fi and or
Like all
science
mechanical.
and technology. There are a few books of basic information about different nations and their inhabitants, however, and the closest thing to something occult that you can find is about a nation far, far, far south, even to Gran Insulae itself, that was originally constructed on a Hellmouth, basically, a portal to Avernus, the realms of devils. That is the most occult thing here, and that mostly seems to be there because it is currently, now thousands of years later, a nation, a dark and gloomy nation, but it is a nation nonetheless.
If I wanted to learn more about that nation, what kind of check would that entail?
You can just take the book.
Okay, I'm taking the book.
Yeah, you find a book on this nation that I will be naming in the next about 30 seconds. That's the thing about spontaneous world building.
No, yeah, I realize I put you on the spot. The other thing I want to look up in here is kind of like a broader encyclopedic knowledge of Ifriti Hearts.
Of Ifriti Hearts. Yes, there is definitely a book on that. In a chapter about alternative fuel sources, on a book on the future equivalent of renewable energy. And basically everything you know is already in there. It seems like spaceships that have been used previously do tend to use just very expensive Magitech. The Ifriti Heart is a way to circumvent all of that.
Right.
It is limitless fuel, as opposed to something that will require upkeep, technology, maintaining it, and may only work once or twice. The Ifriti Heart, if found, is limitless fuel. The only people that were able to acquire an Ifriti Heart were space pirates that were that flew up into space and were never seen again.
Got it.
So it's been used once.
Okay, so I'm pocketing that info. Okay, now I will actually read the book I came in here, or was requested to look at. So the Book of Memories.
Sure. So you look through the Steam King's memories. You see that the Steam King was originally a warforged built for mathematic calculation, built about 300 years ago by a Vidalcan scientist. Vidalcan being the blue-skinned, kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons equivalent of the what are the names from Star Trek that Spock is?
Vulcans.
Of the Vulcans. Generally speaking, tend to be a very intellectual, said to as well be a race with original alien origins in the greater world of Gran Insulae. This Vidalcan scientist, her name was Zalox Tarth, and the Steam King's name at construction was Damien. And it seems like Steam King is just a title that he has been called repeatedly over the years. Make a insight check for me.
Cool. 6.
That's about all you're getting from now, unfortunately. There's a lot of other information, but a lot of it is like logs of data, journals kept about certain years before he erased them.
Yeah, because okay, so can I do a history check to parse the chronology of events, basically? So the stuff pertaining to like the information of like eras long past. Do a history check on that kind of stuff.
What information are you looking for specifically?
I'm trying to broadly parse like the chronology of this island's history. It's like the different eras that have kind of passed through.
Oh, I see. So there's been this is the biggest thing for you to note as a pirate. There's been a great give and take in eras of piracy because of a kind of reverse symbiotic relationship with the Navy. There are periods where the Navy will grow and thus pirates will shrink, but then the pirates will grow back and the Navy will shrink back. It's like as soon as one group starts to shrink, the other one balloons up. So the Steam King and the Steam King's Fortress, depending on the era, has either been dominantly supplying weapons and ships for pirates or supplying weapons and ships for the Navy, with many different crime lords and such coming in occasionally as well.
Okay. And with the level of insight I currently have, that's about all I'm getting out of this book, pretty much, correct?
Right. But you come away with this information on the greater goal and history of the Steam King and the Steam King's Fortress, and you have either taken the book or taken enough information that you will remember about the nation that I have now named Delavar, which is built on a hellmouth far to the south, and in a Magitech world, this is a very strange nation that specializes more in magic and worship of the divine still, as opposed to the rest of the world, which has generally become less religious.
Right. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to bring the book with me, but I will like retain the information I kind of have parsed. And
Awesome.
make my way back to Damien the Steam King.
Awesome. And I will give you more information about that nation after I type it up and send it to you between sessions.
Awesome. That's good.
And finally, Diya. Let's go over what you're doing, and then Sylvia can walk in eventually.
Cool. So here's what Diya wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Diya walks into the shop and breathes and kind of relaxes, feeling very much at home and comfortable. He walks over to the service table and he rolls out his tinkering tools, he rolls out his smithing tools, and he rolls out his thieves' tools. And then as he's looking around, I want to see if there's either an active drone floating around or a deactive drone just kind of laying about.
Yeah, there's an active drone floating around, basically kind of just keeping an eye on the room, making sure everything is in place. It seems like you've been given kind of a sub-workshop. This is not one that he uses very frequently.
Great. So, I want to take the drone and deactivate it.
You do so easily enough.
Cool. So, when Diya was a kid, before he had magic to have a familiar, before any of that stuff, the first real friend that he had was a little mechanical thing that he made. And it's still just a little robot, not like super independent or super amazing, but it was something for a child with not a lot of friends to have. And so what Diya wants to do is essentially build a drone familiar for the Warforged so he's not alone on the island.
All right, why don't you make a intelligence check plus proficiency for me?
Cool. Any chance that I can...
You can definitely have advantage on this,
Thank you.
given
It would be
given
so
the context.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please be good. Okay.
God.
I can work with that. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Nice.
And Sylvia, you walk in as Diya brings a little spark of energy to this little mechanical being. And Diya, can you please describe what this mechanical being, formerly one of these orb-like automatons, looks like?
So it's still very much the similar orb automaton, but now it has limbs with no purposes. It floats around and kind of chitters a little bit. The last moment before it came to life was kind of like Diya and like Diya's familiar coming together and just like putting their hands together on it, and almost like a part of the spirit of his little ferret familiar going into this orb and it coming to life and kind of embodying that free will and that spirit of maybe just a little bit of mischievousness, but also something that's very caring, inquisitive, and just something that's a friend. And it's just it sometimes like an arm will be there, sometimes there'll be two arms, sometimes there's like a little fan, maybe just like little weird ligaments that again don't necessarily make sense, but that's kind of the point, is it's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be fun.
Sylvia, you walk in to see this little strange, quirky, unorthodox automaton built by Diya.
Well, what do we have here?
Diya immediately turns a little bit. Sylvia, you see his cheeks getting a little bit red, and he's like taking off his glasses and like trying to like wipe off his hands and kind of take off the apron a little bit. Hi. I wasn't expecting any. I thought I had the space myself.
I didn't mean to intrude. I just wanted to check in on you to make sure that you weren't running yourself ragged. I was about to head to get some shut-eye myself. This is... Did you make this?
Yeah, my father is an artificer, and sometimes he would yeah, he makes things. It's what he does, and so sometimes I would sneak into his shop when I was a child, and I would make things. And the Steam King, as much as he is who he is, he seemed lonely, and so I thought maybe I'd make a friend for him when we're gone. Nothing that talks, because it seems like he was a bit overwhelmed by that, but just, something to have. Not have, but companionship.
That's so nice of you. It does look, admittedly a little obtuse, but it has its charm. I think he'll be thankful for the companionship. And looks like you've got some of that sunny disposition back. What kind of adventurer wouldn't be able to make something fantastic like this, I think you're a bit more powerful than you give yourself credit for there, Mr. Morningstar.
I think, if anything, what I've learned from you and Mr. Heels is that to save people, you don't always have to hurt things or put yourself or your friends in danger. Sometimes you can just do something nice.
That's a good lesson to learn, Diya. But it is probably also good to know that sometimes it's just really fun to slice people up.
It's just kind of fun to blow things up. I have to admit.
I do get a kick out of it. Anyhow, I won't keep you. I don't know if you're completely done here, but I am, a mixture of tired and also honestly a little excited based on some news that I just got myself. But it's probably for the best that we get some rest here soon. We have been marathoning these past few days.
I'm still quite hurt, and yes, I think I would like to lie down now. The food was good.
It was 100-year-old meat and vegetables. Wow. Well, good night. And then she just turns and leaves.
Sylvia, it is easy enough for you to find your way to your quarters. You are guided by a automaton Hedrover. Are you convening with anyone, or are you going right to bed?
I'm slapping Damien in the back, saying, "See you around, Slim," then going to bed.
Yes. Good night, grumpy, handsome dwarf.
No problem, Damien.
What? His head just kind of turns around. You hear before you go into your room. And
Wait, why are you? Is his name Damien?
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
I don't know how
It's in the book.
how that just went over my head.
Yeah.
I read the lore.
And Timmy Slimmy keeps coming up with all the ship names for your party. We have Sylvia in there. So Diya,
God.
are you going right to bed? Or are you presenting this gift, or what is the plan?
I was going to go to bed, and then I remembered that he said he wanted to get us out quietly in the morning. So I think before I go to bed, I'm just going to go up to the Steam King's door and knock.
You knock. Opens automatically. Yes, dear Morningstar.
I didn't know if we would get a chance to talk before we leave tomorrow morning. Partially in thank you for your hospitality, and partially from one tinkerer to another, I wanted to give you a gift. And Diya gestures with his head, and the orb kind of quizzically floats out from behind his back. There's no eyes or anything, but it's just kind of peeking around his shoulder at the Steam King.
That seems to be one of my automatons, and you have made modifications.
Yes. You see, any good tinkerer needs a companion, and I made one for you.
Fascinating. May I? And he kind of like reaches out gently to it. And there's like a quick little series of him kind of like poking the thing, and it floats back, and he says, this is quite fun. In a world of calculations and exact science, even though this is simply an automaton, in the fact that it was created by you and your mind and your hands, it is wholly unpredictable to me, and I find that the most refreshing thing that I've seen in well over a century. So, thank you, dear Morningstar.
Diya is grinning in ear to ear, runs up, gives the Steam King a hug, and just like a kid, just runs off out the door.
Amazing. And as Diya runs off, you all, after a terrifying chase and many, many days of constant running and fighting, may mark off a long rest.
Nice. I thought you were gonna say level up. I was like, oh no.
Episode 3,
long rest.
come on.
Just-
No,
just
I know.
you wait,
I
just
know.
you
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Timmy Slim's got me like, he's like, this music is making me feel like it's a season finale. So I was like, oh shit, this is like some.
You'll
super
get your
lit
level up
music
soon
right
enough.
now.
You'll get your level up soon enough. You've only had a few combat encounters, but don't worry, it's not
That's
that
fair.
far away.
That's fair.
As you all rest, it is an incredibly peaceful time. You are back to full HP. You are back to full spell slots. It feels like you sleep for a day, but it is still very sudden when you are all woken up individually by a separate orb that has come into your room, floating above your beds, and the voice of the Steam King comes out and says, "Hello, everyone. I would like to get you out as quietly as possible. I have some unexpected guests and would like to ferry you out quickly. Please follow me, and I will
Oh,
make sure that
God.
I get you out quietly, safely, and your ship is prepared."
Okay.
And
Yeah, say no more, Slim.
you all follow the orbs until the orbs get you together, and kind of like when you entered the fortress, you follow these 3 hovering orbs down a hallway. Now, can everyone make a perception check for me, please?
Nothing more.
Going so well
Here we
so
go.
far.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh my days of yore. That's gonna be a 24 for me.
Holy shit.
Okay.
23.
Hedrover and Diya?
5 for me.
5 and 15. Hedrover, you're kind of still resting off all the damage done to your old bones. So you're kind of like sloughing along. You're also a lot shorter than the rest of the party, so you're not quite able to see out the window that Diya and especially Sylvia see. Diya, what you see is the Steam King interacting with an individual who has come off of a large ship, and Sylvia, you recognize the symbol on the ship unmistakably as a United Alliance Navy vessel.
Oh.
And coming off of the ship, walking down slowly across the gangplank, is a man in a blue jacket, huge, it looks like a scabbard at his side, but it's not like any
Oh.
sword you have ever seen. It is a very conical scabbard, like a long cone. You have no idea what type of sword would be in there.
What the-
Chomping on a big cigar, hair short on the sides. This guy steps down and approaches the Steam King. You are not close enough to hear anything other than "Robot, good to see ya," as he like walks on in alongside the Steam King towards where you know the shipyard is.
Is this fucking smoker right now?
That's what I thought.
Holy shit. Oh fuck. Are we just is he if he's talking to Steam King, are we just like hiding somewhere, like waiting for him to like
You're
get us
being
on the...
led towards where your ship is, so you can
Okay,
get
so
out
the
of here
orbs are
without
just
being
taking
spotted.
us. Okay, so yeah, we just gotta...
Yeah, just keep your heads down.
Okay, let's just keep our heads down, stay the course. We don't want any smoke with the Navy.
It is something bad. I couldn't see much. Was it bad?
It's usually nothing good. So let's just keep our heads down, get on our ship, and get the fuck out of Dodge.
I don't mind.
Right. So you all progress down into the fortress itself, but around the back, to a hidden exit to the place. You all see a ship that looks kind of like it's built to be an extremely aerodynamic craft, and above all, it's big and it's comfortable. It is much bigger than a ship just for 3 people, but it looks incredibly fast. It is chrome, shaped kind of like a futuristic arrowhead.
Oh my god.
Right.
I don't know why I immediately thought of the Nautilus from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The big ass fucking like sea sword.
Not
Come on,
quite,
fan art.
not quite that big, but
No, yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed
I know
to
it's not that big. That's just
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, that could be pretty fucking.
absolutely. I mean, hey, who knows one day? But right now, it is a arrow-like, V-like vessel hovering
Cool.
above the water, and you see that on the front of this thing, it is mostly blue and silver to kind of like blend in with the crashing of the waves. But there's an unmistakable white ferret with a heart on the front of it.
Oh god damn it!
Oh, let's go.
And as you all get in the ship, a screen kind of opens in front of you. We're in a sci-fi world, but we're also in a pretty steampunky world. TV screens are very abnormal outside of this high-tech fortress. But you see a camera of the Steam King, most likely through his finger, as if he's holding like a phone up to himself to communicate with you all. Hello, hope you all can
Holy shit!
hear me.
Just like
I can't,
instinctively puts
I
his foot
cannot
out
hear
of the
you.
screen.
I am broadcasting myself to all of you. Do not be alarmed. I am looking to get you all out of here as soon as possible. I am having a meeting with United Alliance Vice Admiral Hector Briggs. I recommend that you all take a very quick path to the city of Voss. This ship will take you there. It will be a much shorter trip than otherwise. Thank you all for your friendship. The screen shuts off.
Well, that was a real gas. Let's go to Voss. We're out. We're no more. Whatever. I don't even know what's happening, but apparently it's not good. I don't want to deal with the Vice Admiral. We leave now.
Diya?
As we stand on the ramp, Diya kind of turns around, pulls out one of his swords, and does like a really stupid like sword hail over the heart salute to the island. Adventure!
Voice is down.
Inside boy, adventure. Yeah.
Like in my brain almost. That's how quiet it is.
Adventure the fuck out of here. Go, 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 go. Vice
You
Admiral,
move.
very bad. Vice Admiral, very bad.
But the Navy, why are they?
Don't worry about
We'll talk
it.
later. We'll talk later.
You all kind of
We're
like
pirates.
Sylvia. You kind of like shove Diya into the ship. Your hooves like clanging on the ramp behind you. The automatons float back into the fortress. Hedrover, you are seated, and you see that the ship has an autopilot planted for the city of Voss. There is a little lighting up on it. Boo, 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 digital radar as it speeds off in the distance. It is rushing. There are waves crashing, and you can all see in the far distance. The camera kind of has to go forward to see a floating city of white, gold, and blue, the next destination of your adventure. And that seems like a great time to end this session of adventures in Gran Insulae.
Oh my god, I love this universe.
It's so
Ah.
sick.
Hey, listen, rule for DMing cool games, it's your world. Stick the coolest shit you can possibly think of in there.
Oh, let's go fight Admiral.
So, that's been a blast. My name is Julian, or JuliCiel. I have been your DM for the night. All of these episodes are uploaded on my YouTube channel, JuliCiel, as well as Mercy in the Blowhole, so this one will most likely be up there tomorrow. The only editing I do is chopping out the break.
He does.
The only editing I do is chopping out the break, so the rest will be here in this form. So thank you all so much for being the first people to see it. You can listen to The Realm Tree, you can listen to or watch the General Adventuring Company to see both Matt and myself as players, Matt as a guest player technically. And thank you all so much for stopping by. If you ever want to hire me to run D&D or write D&D for you to run for your friends, send me a message. And Matt, back to you.
That's me. Hey, it's the I forget what we called me earlier. It was a funny
Speditor
thing.
Man.
A speditor
Wait,
man.
It's like I couldn't call you Spider-Man. That's too
We
easy.
didn't have to circle back to it.
Hey, I'm Matt. I'm a photographer. That's me. I do the thing. Yeah, I'll shoot your wedding because I'm cool like that. Anyway, I don't really have anything to pitch other than that. You can see my Instagram stuff and all my socials are there. You just got to look at which side is it on? This one?
It is the other one. It is the other one.
It's this way.
There you
Okay,
go, point
the socials are there. So check. Yep, it's the other way. Oops. So yeah, go check me out. It's cool. Go, Malik.
Okay. Fantastic. Passing it right to me again. This guy gets to just skate by on the end on both fucking plug sections. Okay. I am Malik. You can find me on Instagram at the Maliki Cauldron. I have a band that I occasionally make music with. Hopefully have some cool stuff coming here soon from my band called Astral Emissary, ASTRAL EMISSARY, with my dear friend Rachel. I also have a One Piece podcast with my friends Will and Storm. It is called Radio Kaizokudan, KAIZOKUDAN. It's available on pretty much every podcasting platform. My friend Will and I are completely caught up on One Piece, and our friend Storm has never read or watched any of it, and we are getting him caught up. And the speed that we're doing it, and he's already addicted. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun. We're reading the manga and then occasionally watching the anime for particular sections of arcs that are really exciting. And we're like 20, almost 30 episodes in actually. So yeah, check that out if you like. And super esteemed gorilla man who plays games and may or may not be 3 degrees removed from the Zodiac Killer. I choose you.
I'm Michael. I've been your old man for the evening. You can follow me on Twitter at Steam_Gorilla. I play fighting games, and I'll post more about them on that Twitter that was mentioned 4 seconds ago.
Incredible.
And if you want something to think about, you drive in the parkway and you park in the driveway. I think that makes sense.
Now that's using your brain. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Thank you all so much for stopping by. The Free Forge, the D&D group that I will eventually be working with, is doing a charity Among Us game right now. So I am going to raid them, and then we are gonna stop the stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Truly so excited for next session, y'all.
I'm literally wish that we were just gonna stop recording and then just start another stream and then start doing the next session of video. So hyped.
Number 1, it's 11. Number 2, I need to write it because I have not constructed the city at all. I've not constructed the city at all, but I'm about to.
Fair enough.
All right.
That's how awesome he is.
It's true.
Yes. Wow.
That's
yeah.
facts.
He dropped a fucking juicer on us this week. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah. We'll keep chatting afterwards. For now, thank you all so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next adventure.